What's going on, guys? Brent0331. Appreciate you guys tuning in. In this video, we're going to be looking at a Vietnam era classic, which is the Chinese Type 54 pistol, chambered 7.62 by 25 millimeter. Now, essentially, this is a direct copy of the Soviet TT-33 Tokarev, which was used by the Soviets during World War II and onward. Now, why is it such an awesome pistol to have? Well, the Chinese provided these in large numbers to North Vietnam during the Vietnam War, so obviously those would make their way down south and would fall in the hands of U.S. troops who would bring them back to the States as bringbacks. So just a few years ago, essentially, because of the importation ban on Chinese firearms into the United States, you couldn't really get your hands on these. The Chinese did import some Type 54 pistols to the U.S. prior to that ban. However, they had to be modified with external safeties, and it wasn't in that exact military configuration. However, now, thanks to a loophole that I'm not 100% sure of, they are able, a company, an importer called R Guns, which is ran by Roger, who's a former Marine that served it back in the 80s. They're bringing these suckers in, and as you can see, the only modification to these to satisfy that requirement is they have these new aftermarket Glock style triggers, and these things come out easily and can be replaced with a surplus TT-33 trigger, and then there you go, guys. You have a original Chinese Type 54 pistol in original military configuration once you change that trigger out to a surplus trigger. So just an excellent opportunity, guys. If you are a military surplus firearms collector like me, man, you got to jump on these when the opportunities present itself. Otherwise, you're going to be paying out the ass down the road. So really looking forward to putting some rounds down range and giving you guys an up-close look at this. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment. All right, guys, so here's the Type 54 pistol, and it's a very basic design. Obviously, it's based off the Russian TT-33, and the Soviets always kept stuff basic and simple for the common man to understand. At the top here, you can probably see it, is some Chinese characters. I took a picture of it, and I sent it over to my buddy Ken, who's Taiwanese, and obviously speaks Mandarin. And he told me it says Model 54, and I didn't even tell him what it was for. Anytime I see Chinese gear or get Chinese military surplus stuff and it's got Chinese characters on it, I always send it over to him to ask what it says. So yeah, he says it says Model 54 on it, which is really cool that it's got that. So this is a single action only pistol. So you essentially have to cock the hammer with your thumb, or by racking the pistol with that first round, it's going to go ahead and lock that hammer to the rear. So there's no double action like on a M9. That first shot that you have is a double action shot unless you manually cock the hammer. It's a single action pistol only. On the left side is your slide stop. So you can pull that upper slide back and push up on the slide stop and lock the upper slide to the rear. On your left side, you have your magazine release. Here's that trigger I was telling you guys about. It's that Glock style trigger. You can see it's got that internal safety mechanism in there. And is that trigger great? I don't know. I'll find out here in a minute when I shoot it for the first time, but my suspicion is no, it probably sucks. But let's be honest, if you're buying this pistol, you're probably looking to make it into a military surplus, and it's original configuration. So you can get, here's a Romanian TT-33. You can get these surplus triggers and insert it into this Chinese Type 54, and then you'll have a original military configuration Chinese Type 54 pistol. But you can see the difference in the trigger there for the this Romanian TT-33. And then also I want to point out this one is obviously been modified. You can see it's got an external safety. This is not original. This is something that had to be done in order for this particular pistol, to be imported into the United States. So this is what I was talking about. So you can see how they drilled into the frame to add this safety to satisfy the requirements to be imported into the States. These do not have this. This trigger satisfies that requirement. So once you swap out those triggers and you get a surplus trigger, you're in exactly the original military configuration that it was intended to be. The magazines are a standard 8-round magazine holding the 7.62 by 25 millimeter round, and as you can see the top there, it's very reminiscent of a 1911 magazine. To load the magazine, simply just going to load it just like any other pistol from the top. Insert through the bottom. Once it's locked in position, you can go ahead and pull the slide back, and that's going to load around into the chamber. As you can see, the hammer is now locked to the rear, so this pistol is ready to fire. To unload, you're going to push that magazine release button to remove the magazine, and then you just pull the slide to the rear, which will kick out that 7.62 by 25 millimeter round. Alright guys, so now we're down to the practical application portion of this video. So, got my little NBA target here, and we're going to mimic the scene from Platoon where the NBA have overran the perimeter and Taylor's got to pick up a captured Type 56 AK to continue to slay enemy bodies. But in this case, we've got a Chinese Type 54 pistol, and we're going to see how well this little commie girl shoots. So I'll be aiming right in the face and trying to put this little NBA down before he overruns the perimeter completely. Well, that was a lot of fun. So that was my very first shots out of this pistol, and I was aiming in between the eyes, so that's pretty good, 15 yards. And man, I really enjoyed the 7.62 by 25 millimeter caliber too. But I gotta say guys, that's pretty enjoyable. This trigger, it is what it is, but you know, like I said, I'm gonna swap it out with a TT-33 surplus trigger here pretty shortly. So we'll see how that shoots once I get that new trigger installed. But you know, as it is right now, hey, it's good enough. You know, it's good enough. It's better than having the frame actually drilled into and ruining some of that, you know, classic original military configuration. So, but I'll take that 15 yards all day. So, awesome. Well, that's it, guys. That completes this video of this Vietnam era Type 54 pistol. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe. I've already done several videos over Vietnam era uniforms, weapons, and gear. I'm planning on doing several more in the future. Also, check out the pinned comment I have in the comment section for a direct link to our guns, as well as other links to military-oriented equipment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment.